speak like a minister Muhammad, I can assure you that.
Come on, let's have it.
So ever since this major measles outbreak, I've been traveling across the country with Bobby Kennedy. We've literally been going state house by state house, talking to legislators, trying to educate them. You guys hear me? And really trying to fight these bills, not only in California, but there's a lot of these same bills, I think in like 36 other states. So I wanted to kind of give you guys a different perspective, because we've been involved in the fight here in California, but we've also been involved in the fight in all these other different states like Illinois and New Jersey and Maine and Austin, Texas, Oregon. And we've noticed big differences between what's happening in those states and what's happening with the legislature here in the state of California.
Big surprise.
So basically, the reason we've been fighting these bills is because one of the smallest outbreaks ever known to man has triggered 36 states to propose bills that are not only unconstitutional, they're anti-American, anti-civil rights, anti-United Nations, but yet very pro-pharmaceutical company. So, as we've been going state by state, meeting with these legislators, it's very clear, very fast, that these legislators really know nothing about the science around the dangers of these bills.
Wow.
And it becomes very clear that the authors of these bills are nothing other than pharmaceutical talking heads. That are trying to spread the lies of these pharmaceutical companies to other legislators to pass these bills through that only have the intent of benefiting pharmaceutical companies. It has nothing to do with the health and welfare of every child in this country.
That's right.
So the first one we went after was Oregon. Bobby brought the film up there, and they talked to the legislators. He was told it cannot be killed. It's on a fast track. It's going to go through. And they went up there. Ryan Hooker was up there with Bobby. They showed the film. Met the legislators, had other people, ground forces that were talking to legislators about the science. And this state did the right thing to do. They got educated, they became educated, got all the information. In a couple days, the bill was killed. Other states have since followed in suit. They're either creating amendments that are very fair, or they're killing the bill as well. Specifically, Austin, Texas had 18 bills proposed, 16 were killed, 2 went through, and the 2 that went through were acceptable to some degree. Springfield, Illinois, they added amendments, and that one became acceptable. There's been a lot of give in a lot of these bills that are being proposed, except in the state of California, where they're trying to strong-arm every single California parent to force them to get these vaccines, even though they have legitimate concerns of why they're not vaccinated. So instead of forcing them to get the vaccines, they should be focused on fixing the problem of why these parents are losing faith in the programs and The last one we were just at just a few weeks ago was Maine. And Maine not only killed the bill, I saw yesterday one of the representatives took it the next step and actually introduced legislation that would protect anybody from being discriminated, regardless if they're vaccinated or not. This is the constitutional right. So California, let's talk about California, because these states seem to be doing the right thing once they get the information. California, we had a meeting with Senator Pan 2 months ago. This is deja vu for me. I spoke at a rally here 2 months ago, right before the Senate Health Committee. And Pan literally was, I don't even know how to say it nicely, but it was like talking to a pan. He does not get the science, he does not understand the history of this subject, and he refuses to listen, not only listen to the information, but he tells his legislators, and we get word from other legislators, that he's telling them not to watch Trace Amounts. Don't talk to Bobby Kennedy. He's going after the parents in his tweets and his Facebooks. This guy is the epitome of unprofessional. Regardless of what happens with this bill, whether it passes or it's killed, we all need to stay here and make sure he is unseated out of the Senate. And let's get him into the position that he's meant to be in as a pharmaceutical lobbyist. So there's so. Last time I talked about the corruption of the CDC, I kind of wanted to take a different route this time. There's so much corruption, regardless of what our constitutional rights are, regardless of at the fundamental core of these bills, why they're wrong. The corruption is beyond atrocious. And Senator Pan will not even listen to it. He will not listen to Dr. Bill Thompson, a 17-year CDC scientist that you'll hear Dr. Brian Hooker talk about.
Wow.
Tell us all that the CDC is manipulating data to cover up a link between vaccines and autism. That's the whole reason we're standing here today, is because autism is the concern. We know there's a link. The science proves there's a link. There's closed-door transfer meetings and emails that we've obtained through the Freedom of Information Act. Thanks to Brian Hooker and other organizations. He refuses to read the published data, peer-reviewed, very credible source data that proves there's a link. Not only a link, but a link down.
They tried to cover up.
Sell what's going on as far as some of the primary causes of autism. So I just want to finish, I'm kind of going on, but there's never been a more critical time in history for the people of California to stand up and let it be known that we will not allow these money-grubbing pharmaceutical companies to steer the legislation into dangerous avenues that are going to harm our children.